Imagine waking up to the screech of welding torches at dawn, only to find your only access to your own home barricaded by a gleaming steel gate, all because a clipboard-wielding tyrant decided your rights didn't fit her vision of suburban perfection. What she didn't count on was me, the quiet neighbor who'd been documenting every petty power play, ready to flip the script and watch her empire of rules crumble in hilarious, humiliating slow motion. My name's Alex Rivera, and I've always been the type who measures twice and cuts once, literally, since my carpentry business depends on precision. Out here in Sunnybrook Estates, a cookie-cutter slice of American suburbia in suburban Virginia, the houses line up like soldiers on parade, each with identical white picket fences and lawns mowed to military specs. It's the kind of place where the air smells like fresh-cut grass mixed with quiet desperation. And the HOA rules read like a dystopian novel: no visible trash cans after 8 a.m. Holiday lights down by January 2nd. Or face the wrath of fines that could fund a small country. Me? I bought my plot on the edge of this manicured madness 5 years ago, drawn by the affordable land and the ancient easement road snaking through the neighborhood to my workshop in the back. That strip of asphalt? It's mine by law, recorded in the county books before half these McMansions were even blueprints. I keep to myself, wave at the joggers, and run my business without bothering a soul. But peace? That's a joke in a place where community standards mean spying on your neighbors like it's a full-time job. Enter Brenda, the HOA president. Or as I like to call her, the Queen of Quibbles. She's in her mid-50s, with a perm that defies gravity and a smile that could curdle milk. Brenda runs the board like her personal fiefdom, quoting bylaws with the fervor of a televangelist. It's all about maintaining property values, she'd coo at meetings. But really, it's about control. She once fined a family $200 for a kid's chalk drawing on the sidewalk, called it unsightly graffiti. Hilarious, right? Until it wasn't. I first crossed her radar when my delivery truck rumbled down the easement one sunny afternoon, kicking up a whisper of dust. By evening, whispers turned to rumors: that guy's turning our quiet street into a truck stop. I ignored it at first, figuring it was just bored housewives stirring the pot. But Brenda? She smelled blood. It started small, like a mosquito bite you scratch until it bleeds. One morning, I find a neon pink notice taped to my mailbox: unauthorized commercial vehicle usage noted. Please comply with HOA guidelines for guest parking. Guest parking? On my own easement? I chuckled, crumpled it, and tossed it in the recycle bin. But Brenda wasn't done. She showed up at my door that weekend, knocking with the precision of a metronome, her pearls gleaming under the porch light. "Mr. Rivera," she said, voice dripping honey over venom. "We've had concerns from residents about disturbances. You understand, don't you? We all want a harmonious community." I leaned against the frame, arms crossed. "Disturbances like what, Brenda?" "My truck delivering wood for cabinets. That's my livelihood." Her eyes narrowed behind her cat-eye glasses. "It's President Wilkins to you." And yes, exactly that. Commercial traffic disrupts the aesthetic. Perhaps you could reroute through the backwoods? I bit back a laugh. The backwoods? That's a ravine, Brenda. And this road's been mine longer than your HOA's been printing fines. Check the county records. She straightened, clipboard rustling like a threat. Records can be outdated. We're modernizing things here. As she sashayed away, I caught her muttering to a neighbor across the street: "He's so entitled, thinking he can just bulldoze through our peace." That night, The rumors hit the neighborhood Facebook group, "Beware the carpenter, he's planning a massive expansion. Trucks 24/7. Posted anonymously. Of course. But I recognized Brenda's phrasing. I didn't bite. Instead, I started a file on my phone, screenshots. Dates. Every little jab. Patience isn't weakness, it's ammunition. The mosquito bites turned into hornet stings soon enough. First came the courtesy invoices, slick little envelopes slipped under my wiper blades. Demanding $50 for road maintenance contributions. I opened the first one over coffee. Nearly spitting out my sip. Contributions? For a road you don't own? It was absurd. Like billing the mailman for walking your sidewalk. But Brenda's machine churned on. The next week. Another, $75. With a note, non-compliance erodes community trust. Pay up or face escalation. Escalation? I filed them away. Adding photos. Then the stares intensified. I'd drive the easement. And residents would whip out phones. Filming like I was a celebrity scandal. One guy. Mid-50s with a beer gut. Pretended to water his plants while zooming in on my license plate. "Smile for the compliance report," he yelled once. Laughing like it was a joke. It wasn't. Brenda orchestrated it all. Posting in the group, "Vigilance keeps us safe from outsiders." Outsiders? I'd lived here longer than most. The black humor hit when I overheard two moms at the park. "Did you hear? Alex is smuggling contraband in those wood shipments." Contraband? Like pine boards were code for something sinister. I kept quiet. But inside, I was mapping their absurdities like a chessboard. Then they crossed the line, literally. One foggy dawn. I spot shadows near my property edge. 3 board members. Brenda leading the pack. Tromping onto my land with measuring tapes and cameras. "This fence looks off by inches," Brenda declared loudly. Tapping a survey stake with her heel like she owned it. I stepped out. Phone recording. "Morning, folks. Enjoying the trespass?" Brenda whirled. Face flushing. "We're clarifying boundaries. Residents complained about encroachment." Encroachment? My lines were laser straight. On my dirt? That's bold. Smile for my camera too. The others fidgeted. But Brenda puffed up. "This is official HOA business. You wouldn't understand." As they slunk away. One whispered. "Brenda. Are we sure about this?" Her snapped back, "Of course. He doesn't belong." I added the video to my binder. Smirking at the irony, them encroaching while accusing me. The hornets built a nest when the cameras appeared. I noticed the first one glinting in a tree overlooking the easement. A sneaky black orb winking like it knew a secret. Then another on a pole. Aimed right at my driveway. By week's end. A whole network, 5 lenses tracking every move. It was creepy comic. Like living in a bad spy thriller where the villains were soccer moms with too much time. The neighborhood buzzed, for safety. Brenda claimed at a meeting I crashed incognito. "That road's a liability, who knows what he's hauling?" Laughter rippled through me as she ranted. Face earnest. About protecting our values. Values like privacy invasion. I documented each install. Noting dates and who did the wiring, turns out. HOA funds paid for it all. No vote needed. Efficiency, Brenda called it. The Mickey Mouse logic peaked when she cornered me at the grocery store. Of all places. "Alex. Those cameras are for everyone's good. If you've nothing to hide." I raised a brow. "Like your secret board meetings where you plot against non-members?" Her smile cracked. That's preposterous. We're guardians of order. Guardians? More like Gestapo with garden gnomes. The invoices escalated to $150. Threats of liens on my unauthorized property. Rumors amped up, he's bankrupt. Dodging fees like a deadbeat. I heard it from a delivery guy who hesitated at my gate. They said you're trouble. Man. Trouble? I was the one being stalked. But I bided time. Consulting a lawyer friend quietly. Building my case like a house of cards, theirs. Not mine. The black comedy? Brenda's emails. All polite venom, dear Mr. Rivera. Your refusal to contribute undermines our communal spirit. Let's discuss amicably. Amicably. My ass. Dawn broke with a metallic screech that yanked me from sleep, welders sparking at the easement's mouth. Erecting a steel monstrosity of a gate. Padlocked and topped with barbed wire like a prison entrance. Orange HOA tags fluttered, unauthorized access prohibited. Fines up to $500. My heart pounded. But not in panic, in cold fury laced with amusement at the overkill. Brenda stood there. Phone filming. Her face a mask of triumphant glee. Finally. Order restored, she crowed to gathered neighbors. No more freeloaders. Freeloaders? The road was mine. I grabbed my binder, deeds. Surveys. Emails. Videos, and marched out. Camera rolling. Brenda. This is illegal. That easement predates your whole subdivision. Her laugh was sharp. Mired in delusion. Easements? Outdated nonsense. The board voted, it's ours now. Voted? Like democracy trumped law? Neighbors nodded along. Murmuring approval. But a few looked uneasy. I called the sheriff and my lawyer. Voice steady. We've got a blockade on a legal right-of-way. As sirens approached. Brenda's confidence waned. This is a misunderstanding. He's the aggressor. The sheriff arrived. Badge gleaming. And I handed over the binder. He scanned. Eyebrows rising. Ma'am. This deed's ironclad. You're obstructing private property. Brenda sputtered. But. Property values. Safety. The lawyer chimed in, safety? Like your unauthorized surveillance? We've got receipts, HOA misusing funds. Gasps rippled. A board member paled. Brenda authorized that alone. Fingers pointed. Unity fracturing. The sheriff nodded. Gate comes down now. Or fines for you. Brenda's face twisted, smugness to shock. Then panic as bolt cutters snapped the lock. Cheers erupted. Not from hate. But hilarity at her unraveling. You said he had no rights, a resident yelled. Brenda backed away. Clipboard clattering. We were protecting you. Protecting? From what? Common sense? With the gate in scraps. The fallout snowballed like a bad comedy sketch gone viral. The county slapped the HOA with a $10,000 fine for obstruction and misuse of funds, turns out. Those cameras? Bought with dues meant for park benches. Board members jumped ship, the treasurer resigned mid-meeting. Stammering. Brenda pushed it all, said it was foolproof. Brenda? Ousted in a vote so fast it was comical. Her protests drowned in accusations. You lied about his business. You fabricated rumors. She stood there. Pearls Askew. Face a roadmap of defeat. This is sabotage, she wailed. But no one bought it. Residents approached me sheepishly, we believed her, sorry. Alex. One even baked cookies. mumbling. We thought you were the villain. Villain? I was just building furniture. The neighborhood thawed, potlucks replaced patrols. Kids biked the easement without glares. My business boomed. Deliveries flowing freely. The road got repaved. Courtesy of county oversight. Smooth as Brenda's former ego. Looking back. The irony bites deep, she welded shut my path. But opened the door to her own exposure. Power trips like hers? They always trip over truth. But here's the kicker, was Brenda the real monster? Or just a product of a system that lets petty tyrants rule with clipboards? You tell me, who's truly at fault in these HOA horror shows?